Here is your last assignment for the week, or at least last slides. You have a quiz after this. But we're working on measurement with a ruler still. And so on these slides, you'll have to either measure an item like this carrot or feather, or sometimes you'll be measuring pieces of string, or you'll be clicking and dragging arrows to different points on the ruler. So here, move the point markers to the designated place on the ruler. Designated place just means assigned place, and so like the pink arrow needs to go to 6.5 inches. Dante needs to move the points to the designated point on the ruler. So let's help Dante out. 6.5 I know is halfway between 6 and 7. So I'm going to click and drag, ding, and I'm going to click outside, and there it is. Don't mess with the sizes of the arrows, friends. Just leave them the same size if you can, and just put them as close to the line, as you can. Notice I can also use my arrow keys. That's sometimes an easier way, the arrow keys on your keyboard, to move a point. Like I can see that's not really exact. That's not really exact either. That feels more accurate. Okay, well, that's going to have to be good enough. So then you have how long is the carrot, and it's already starting at 0 for this one, and it's ending, oh, look at that, in between 6 and 7 again. So the carrot is measuring the same length as the last slide, 6.5. So you'll click in the text box. 6 is that big number. Now the half, you did this with your fraction slides, but if I just put a space in between the whole number and the fraction, I'm going to put a 1 / which is next to the shift key on your keyboard, and then the 2, and I can show it like that. I would prefer you doing it that way rather than doing like 6.5 and a decimal, just because this is how we've been writing fractions for the most part up until this point. Okay. Lastly, put that back in the middle for you. I wanted to point out that sometimes the object will not be on the ruler at 0. And so you will have to do some subtraction to figure it out. So you'll notice this tractor is not over here at the end of a ruler. So this poor little guy, he did not line up the tractor the way that we have learned to line up objects on our ruler. So we're just going to have to work with what he has, because I can't click and drag this tractor. It starts at 2 inches and it ends at 6.5. So I'm going to click down here in my speaker notes so you can see my thinking. I'm going to subtract to find the difference, to find how long this is. So I'm essentially doing 6.5 minus 2. So I'm just going to think about the whole numbers first. 6 minus 2 is 4. And I'm not subtracting any fractions from the 2, so I can just keep that 1/2. So it's 4 1/2 is my answer for how long the tractor is. Okay, so just be really aware of where these slides have the object starting. And then on this one, these are just supposed to be strings. So you'll be measuring those lines like they're stretched out strings. All right, happy learning.